At least you have the
Speaking of it, Louis Aguiar.
Yes, right. Perfect.
He habla Espanol, right?
And don't send too many people over to SAP just yet. Here's Aguiar to kick off. David Dunn and Will Blackwell back to receive. It's a one-hopper fielded by Will Blackwell at the 5. And Blackwell fakes a handoff and then gets tackled at the 16-yard line. Tony Richardson, the Chiefs fullback and special teams performer, comes down to stop him. Now, Cordell Stewart started every game last season, led them into the AFC Championship game, has made every start this year. The grim numbers there, 3 TDs, 7 interceptions. Bettis is healthy, and so is Lester after off-season surgery. Hawkins and Johnson outside, Bruner the tight end. Up front, Wolford, Faneca the rookie, DeMonte Dawson, one of the all-time best, Stye, and Strelzik. From the 16-yard line, with Hawkins in motion. Out of the eye, they give it to Bettis. And the bus picks up a hard yard, maybe 2. Up to the 17. Tackled there by John Browning. The Chiefs play basically a 3-4, though Derek Thomas up on the line a lot. Browning, Bart, and Leslie O'Neal in the down position. And then the linebackers, Thomas, Simmons, Monusky starting for Donnie Edwards tonight, and Anthony Davis. Carter and McMillan, the corners, Tongue and Woods are the safeties. Very good in terms of pass defense as you look at James Hasty, who for the moment is on the sideline, but their run defense has been shredded of late. And Bettis bunched up, but still fights his way up to the 19-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Monusky makes the tackle.
Al, it's you know, you get Marty Schottenheimer. It says it's one of the reasons we have the #1 pass defense in the league. When you can't stop the run, why does anybody bother to throw the football against you? That's exactly what the Steelers want to do. They see that the Kansas City defense is 23rd in the NFL against the run, so they want to try to take some pressure off of Cordell Stewart and just pound away with Jerome Bettis.
They were ranked a lot higher, and Marty Schottenheimer is looking for a timeout because there was some confusion. We saw Hasty come onto the field in the secondary.
They got 12.
Start the game because he was hurt. And then Robert Williams, a backup corner, and Hasty in and out and off and on the field, and Schottenheimer is forced to burn an early timeout.
You guys are in here again? I can't believe this. You're always in here nursing your injuries. I have never seen such a group of cream puffs in my life. This is football. I need guys that can play.
Man, I thought he'd never leave.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Hot dog, anyone?
Steve's band had its first big break last night, so they packed up the only four-door compact pickup out there, Ford Ranger, and headed out of town.
This can't be right. Trust me, it's gonna be great.
Only to find when they hit the stage, something was a little out of place. Them. It seems the only thing tougher than Steve's Ranger was last night's crowd. Four-door Ford Ranger, built Ford tough.
In a world where every second counts, a quick call can make a big difference.
Cordell, I think the safety will bite on the play-action.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
That's why now all calls under 30 seconds are free. Introducing Sprint Sense Anytime, where all calls are a dime a minute and calls under 30 seconds are on our dime. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP for Sprint Sense Anytime.
Thanks, Bob.
Monday Night Football Online is inside the game with live action, interviews, post-game analysis, and live polls on the web at ESPN.com.
On the left, the starting linebacker, Donnie Edwards, because of a hip pointer, inactive tonight. Wayne Simmons was the guy who incurred the wrath of Marty Schottenheimer, and you can tell as Marty still talks to him, had to have been at least a partial cause of having to call that timeout with 12 men on the field. And so now with KC having burned one, Pittsburgh with play back in has a 3rd and 7, and Stewart out of the shotgun. Hangs in there, fires over the middle, and it's complete up at the 32-yard line to Will Blackwell. He takes a shot, Stewart takes a shot, but they convert on 3rd down.
Now, if the offensive line is going to be able to give Cordell that kind of time on 3rd down, he'll be able to sit in the pocket and wait for his receivers to get open. The Chiefs like to play man coverage on third down. This time, however, there was a void in the middle. David Dunn comes across the middle, attracts the center of the defense, and Cordell hangs in there and delivers the football. That's a good sign for the Pittsburgh Steelers passing offense.
Went down in the arms of John Browning. First down, Pittsburgh at the 32-yard line. Taking to the bus, the pressure is still on. Stewart hit as he throws, and that's caught by Tim Lester. Lester basically a blocking back. Leslie O'Neal put the pressure on Stewart that time, but Tim had 2 off-season surgeries and is just working his way back to him.
And it's a smart play by Pittsburgh to try to screen to the side of Derek Thomas, who's coming on the big pass rush, because you know that big looping rush of his up the field is going to take him out of the play. This is Will Wolford, Derek Thomas, one of the good matchups tonight. Wolford gets away with the left hand to the face of Derek Thomas. But the Steelers really benefit by having Wolford back at left tackle. Strelzik goes back to right.
Now 2nd and 8, and Thomas comes out of the game for a play. And here's Bettis crunching his way up to the 44 and a first down. He missed last week's game with a knee sprain. Bill Cowher said last night he is very fresh.
Yeah, I think Bill Cowher's pretty fresh, you know. and speaking to him last night in our coaches meeting and getting a sense from him, I've been out of the league now for 7 games, and he's the only coach that I've been around that made me miss the game. That's how intense he is.
Bill has a passion for the game that certainly is infectious with everyone around him.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Bettis again. Across the 50 to the 48, Reggie Tongue makes the tackle, and they're penetrating what's been a soft run defense.
Well, we're really seeing the Steelers showing some early signs of really being solidified on their offensive line. When Wolford came back to left tackle, it allowed their normal right tackle, Justin Strelzik, to move back to the right side. He struggled at left tackle. They had their rookie playing right tackle. So this is a really regrouped Steeler offensive line, and Bettis looks like he's enjoying the byproduct.
2nd and 1. Speaking of regroup, 75 Chester McLaughlin along the front, and McLaughlin, who had surgery, the former Raider, no sooner do you mention his name and he gets into the game, and that's the reason they paid him mega millions, but he's been hurt until tonight.
Just a simple inside step for Chester, a short yardage pinch from his defensive end position, and the Steelers whiff. Take a look at the right side of your screen. He just gets inside Strelzik, gets the penetration. Bettis can't get away. Marty said we only are looking to get 4 or 5 plays a quarter out of Chester.
All like that.
All like that would be nice.
3rd and 2 from the gun. Good protection, almost intercepted. Mark Bruner, the intended receiver, went through the hands of Wayne Simmons. 4th down.
Say, Cordell Stewart had Tim Lester in the flat that time and chose to throw it inside. If he uses his eyes and moves the defender inside, he can take Tim Lester in the flat for an easy first down. And these are the types of things that young quarterbacks tend to lose sight of. They have to see the big picture, and they have to be able to use their eyes to move their defensive players around a little bit.
Josh Miller is having a great year, averaging more than 46 yards a kick. And floats one in the direction of Tamarick Vanover, who signals for a fair catch. Lets it bounce at the 10, but the Steelers are there to cover it at the 1. And the Chiefs will begin their first drive from their own 1-yard line. 9:58 left in the opening quarter. 0-0.
Everything was going well on Frank's first night as foreman until he made one tiny mistake.
There's a Ford F-Series in the lot with its lights on. There's a Ford F-Series with its lights on.
F-Series is America's best-built, best-selling truck. It's 50 years tough. And obviously, for a lot of people, it's the only truck that's tough enough. Next time, Frank, get the plate number. Ford F-Series, the biggest, toughest trucks ever built Ford tough.
The more you do something, the better you get. State Farm's been settling car insurance claims for over 75 years, millions of them. We've come up with a system that works so well that more drivers trust State Farm than all those cut-rate insurers put together. You're buying into that promise that we're going to be there to take care of you when a claim happens. Every day, State Farm handles over 30,000 claims. It's a practice makes perfect thing. That's the reason the competition doesn't stand a chance.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm
It's an idea that's been around for a pretty long time. At Southwest Airlines, we call it Friends Fly Free. Just buy a round-trip full-fare ticket, and a friend comes along absolutely free. Of course, like any great deal, it doesn't last forever. So purchase your tickets by December 9th, because you don't want to get left behind.
You are now free to move about the country.
Wednesday. Greg. It's Halloween on Dharma and Greg, and everyone's on edge.
Hello, Dolly!
All new Dharma and Greg on ABC. See you Wednesday.
Kansas City Chiefs propped up against their goal line. Elvis Gerbach separated his shoulder before the half opening night, then didn't play until the New England game. Bennett and Anders in the backfield. Rison is healthy. Alexander, the other wideout. Tony Gonzalez, the tight end. Up front, they're still minus Dave Zott. Criswell, Smith, Grunhard, Shields, and the rookie from Auburn, Victor Riley. Zott, one of the best guards in the league, still doesn't figure to play until mid-December. Tony Richardson, the fullback, to try to give them some breathing space, gets a yard or so. Second down and long. The Steelers play a 3-4. Roy, Steed, the Pro Bowler, and Kevin Henry up front. Gilden, Kirkland, one of the very best. Earl Holmes coming back from a broken finger, and Emmons on the outside. Lake and Perry are the corners. Flowers and Washington, the ex-Viking, are the safeties. And there is Dave Zott, one of the finest guards in the league, but injured, and they're hopeful of getting him back before the end of the regular season. Second down and 8, and they give the ball to Donnell Bennett, who takes it up to the 5-yard line.
I would think that the interesting thing here tonight is Jeff Smith starting at left guard, his first career start, and he has to go up against Joel Steed. He has to go up against LeVon Kirkland and Earl Holmes in the middle, Dan.
Well, Glenn Parker, who's normally their right tackle, is filling in at left guard for Zott. He went down. They were hoping he could play tonight. A sore back kept him out. Smith has only played in a handful of games for the Chiefs.
Third and 6. It's a toss to Bennett, who barely get out of the end zone. Dwayne Washington came up and almost plugged him for a safety.
Risky business, pitching the ball in the end zone.
So 3 running plays, and they're still backed up, and normally it's about a 14-yard snap. This one will be a 12-yard snap to Aguiar.
When you have an aggressive defense like the Pittsburgh Steelers down in here, you have to be really careful. The best thing to do is to run right at them, just because of those problems that they present with 8 guys around the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was Washington lined up out on a wide receiver, disregarded any chance of the pass. Run support was perfect.
They'll have to get it away in a hurry, and it is blocked. And that's big news with Aguiar. And Lance Brown is the guy who came in and blocked it. And recovered by the Steelers. And Ron Zook, the special teams coach, applauding Fred McAfee, who comes up with the football and the touchdown.
Well, a breakdown in protection for the Kansas City Chiefs. The protection breaks down on the right side. Watch the right side of your screen. Right there, coming inside. Lance Brown comes loose. He starts outside the right tackle, makes an upfield fake, comes in unblocked. Aguiar really didn't have a chance of getting that off.
Norm Johnson for the point after. And it's 7-0. And it all started when Vanover called for a fair catch at the 10-yard line. Didn't make it. They backed him up to the 1 and had to punt from the 2.
That's a good pass rushing move by a defensive back. In what we thought would be a game of big plays, number 1 belongs to the Steelers.
Professional builders, people who make a living with their tools, prefer to buy their tools at the Home Depot more than any other store in America. And whether it's the selection, the quality brands we offer, or our guaranteed commitment to the lowest prices, we think it's a pretty powerful argument for why you should shop here too. The Home Depot, where people who know their stuff buy their stuff.
Joan London for Claritin.
For years, I tried to deal with seasonal allergies. I took a million different kinds of over-the-counter antihistamines, had a cupboard filled with allergy medications that made me feel drowsy. Then my doctor prescribed non-drowsy, once-a-day Claritin. Claritin works for me.
Claritin has a low occurrence of side effects, such as headache, drowsiness, fatigue, and dry mouth.
After I talked to my doctor, I was amazed at how easy it was to control my seasonal allergy symptoms.
For Dan and Lisa, it just clicked. So they loaded up their Ford Expedition and got back to doing what they loved, answering the call of the wild.
I lost them.
And they unleashed a beast of their own. That big 5.4-liter Triton V8. And you thought Little Red Riding Hood got a close look. Ford Expedition. Built Ford tough.
He killed a man to keep a secret.
You wouldn't hurt him, would you?
No, he wouldn't feel a thing.
Vengeance Unlimited, ABC Thursday.
Louis Aguilar has been playing in the NFL since 1991, broken with the Jets. He had punted 587 times, and that's the first time he's had one block. Dave Jennings holds the all-time record at 623. The kickoff is fielded by Vanover at the 6-yard line. And Vanover brings it back up to the 30. And what a sequence for Lance Brown. Brown was the guy who downed the punt at the 1 and blocks the punt to set up the touchdown.
And you could see number 35, Melvin Johnson, for the Kansas City Chiefs, allowed Lance Brown to come to his inside. When you are blocking on the punt team, you cannot allow penetration to your inside. You have to block down like that. And it's a tough deal for Johnson because he has to do a two-way go. He's got a guy outside of him and inside of him, but protect the inside gap first.
First down from the 29-yard line. And Gerback throwing his first pass of the night and going deep, and all kinds of interference. Flags from everywhere. Well, Lee Flowers hitting Derek Alexander.
Lee Flowers went in bloom a little early there.
Pass interference. 41 defense. That's the first down.
Bloom is off. Bill Cowers rose.
Well, he's got the lead, but that's allowing them into your territory mighty quickly. A good return by Vanover, and then this really blatant interference.
Well, Lee Flowers looked like he thought he could make the play on it because the ball was going to be overthrown. You can't run through the offensive player to get to it, though.
That's making it awfully easy on the officials.
29-yard penalty. First down at the 42-yard line. Pressure from the backside. Gerback can feel it, but he still can't escape the speedy Carlos Emmons.
It'd be a good race watching Steve Young try to get away from Carlos Emmons, one of the fastest outside linebackers in football. He's got speed that's reminiscent of a Derek Thomas coming around the corner. This is just a speed rush. The very top of the screen. The feet belong to Carlos Emmons. He gets around Criswell. And Elvis feels him, thinks he got away, but he was wrong.
Strange to watch a guy like Emmons with his speed. That's the first sack he's had. Bryson makes the catch at the 36-yard line. He actually had one last week, and prior to that, it had been a while.
You know, the thing about this Pittsburgh Steelers defense is that they give you a lot of different looks, but really it's built on speed. It's built on hustle, and it's also built on gang tackling. I mean, this is a defense that's built in the mold of Bill Cowher, the coach, and the ex-player.
And defensively, Boomer, they still utilize the zone blitz. Dom Capers really helped get that thing started, and they do it well.
3rd and 5. Gerback throws. Contact along the far sideline as Carnell Lake and Kevin Lockett bump together as the ball gets there. No flag, incomplete.
On the play by Carnell Lake. I think everybody knows the story of Carnell Lake. Multiple Pro Bowls as a strong safety. Now a full-time corner for the Steelers.
They got away with a
little holding right there.
Little holding.
And maybe just a tad early. But he played that like a veteran cornerback, which he must feel like at least getting to go all the way through training camp playing corner.
Well, the Chiefs are going to line up to go for it.
Boomer has something to say about this.
Eschewing the opportunity of a 55-yard field goal, and they are going to snap it. And Gerback throws and completes it. A huge play to Tony Gonzalez inside the 10, out of bounds at the 6.
Well, you got to love, Boomer, a tight end that you can line up at wide receiver. What a target on a quick slant.
And this is really something that the Kansas City offense does. They love the matchup of splitting everybody out. They don't have the 4 wide receivers like a lot of teams do, but they believe that this kid can really become something special. And you can see right there the matchup problems. When you have a big man like this down the field to have a little DB trying to make a tackle on him, and he's really coming into his own this year.
Yeah, that was Darren Perry that had the one-on-one coverage with Gonzalez. But when you line a 6'4", 250-pound guy at wideout, now that's a load. 31-yard reception, longest of his career. First and goal, and Anders drops it as he gets smothered by Emmons. And how about Marty Schottenheimer early in the game saying after the special teams disaster, 4th and 5. It's not 4th and 1. It's 4th and 5, and going for it.
Well, what did he really have to lose? Maybe, you know, what could he have picked up with a pooch punt? Maybe 15, 20 yards? You're right. You got to give Marty a lot of credit. Is it batted here? Yep, Keevan Henry gets his hands on the ball and distracted Anders just enough that he wasn't able to pull it in. The real leader of the defensive line, Keevan Henry.
Second down and goal from the 6-yard line. Bennett takes the sack. Goes to the 3. Levon Kirkland right there in the middle, number 99. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Now, how about Levon Kirkland? 52 tackles already this year. He's 270 pounds in the middle. I mean,
I love it.
And he stays out on the field on all 3 downs, 3rd down and long, doesn't matter. He's out there. This guy is one of the hardest working linebackers in football, and along with Cornell Lake, a great foundation.
If he was a truck, he'd be a cement truck. Not a pickup truck. He'd be a cement truck.
And then even look like he has a neck. He has no neck.
3rd and goal from the 3. And falling down was Richardson. Open at the goal line and falling backwards.
Wide open at the goal line was Richardson.
What a plus when you have a fullback can actually catch the ball and run with it. And really, they need to have good feet. And they ask a lot of the fullback in this particular offense. You're used to seeing Kimball Anders do this.
You saw Richardson throw out his right foot there, Boomer, and it just really, a piece of side gave way, and it slid right out from under him.
Now Pete Stoyanovich, a 20-yard field goal attempt. Out of Aguiar's hold, and the Chiefs get 3. 5:08 left in the opening quarter. Pittsburgh 7, Kansas City 3.
Back in 1903, Henry Ford had this crazy dream. Build a quality car and sell it for less. He called it making the desirable affordable. Enter Ford Taurus, the only sedan starting under $20,000 to earn a 5-star government front crash test rating. And now it's $1,000 less for all the same equipment. More desirable, more affordable. Funny how a 95-year-old dream can keep coming true. Ford Taurus, built to last.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Sugar Ray, you are getting hammered by long-distance charges. Do like I do. Just dial 1010-811 before long-distance calls, and we'll beat 1010-321 and AT&T's one rate, guaranteed. And get this, there's no $4.95 monthly fee. Hey, are you okay? You all right?
Bart, if you're going to watch 101 Dalmatians. For the first time on television, 101 Dalmatians, ABC Sunday.
Aerial coverage tonight provided by Anheuser-Busch. Home offices, of course, in St. Louis on the other end of the state in Dan's hometown. We're in western Missouri, the far western edge. The Budweiser blimp hovering high above as Aguiar kicks off. And it is fielded 2 yards into the end zone by Will Blackwell, and he will down it there. Sports Night, one of the most exciting new shows of the fall. Sports Night, more than a comedy, tomorrow night, right here on ABC.
There it is. Halloween. Dan, you going to get dressed up for Halloween?
Yeah, I'm going to dress like you. I figure that'll really scare the kids.
You're starting early tonight, aren't you?
I'm already dressed for Halloween. First down to the 20-yard line, and Stewart hits Hawkins, and Courtney Hawkins picks up 7 up to the 27, tackled there by Mark McMillan.
You know, in watching Cordell Stewart and the way he threw that ball and the way he delivered it, he was very confident. And these are the types of things that coaches are going to be looking for. Ray Sherman will be watching that, seeing how he delivers the football tonight. And the more comfortable and the more confident he looks, the more passes we'll probably see.
Stewart is 3 of his first 4 for 22 yards. 4.5 to go in the period. Steelers leading by 4. Bettis behind Lester, cuts it back, picks up the first down, shaved off the backside of Lester, and gets up to the 31, tackled by Derek Thomas for a first down. The Bus was hurt last week, and when you look at his career, tremendous start with the Rams coming out of Notre Dame, and then he had that big swale in the middle, and that precipitated the deal in which Pittsburgh acquired him, and what a difference he has made since '96.
Well, 4 out of his 5 years in the league, he's gone over 1,000 yards, over 1,400 as a rookie, Al.
Flags down. Bernie Kukar is the official. Mitch Lyons, the tight end, moving. Get the call from Kukar.
Ball starts. 85 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Lyons. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Sprint, for all the ways you communicate. Sprint keeps you connected to your world. Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks are built for tough. And HBO, it's not TV, it's HBO. Downtown Kansas City, Missouri River in the foreground. There it is. You see the 3 parts of Bettis' career. The great beginning, the pretty horrible middle, and now here he is in full flower. And here he is in full flower on this run, up to the 37-yard line. Weights are always dubious. You never know how close they really are. But according to what he is listed at, Dan, he's gained more yards than anybody who's ever weighed that much.
Yeah, he's listed at 250 pounds, and there are times when you look at Jerome, you think to yourself, he's got to be more than that. But he's a tough guy, too, and that's another thing to keep in mind. 2 weeks ago, this guy partially tore the MCL, the medial collateral ligament, in his knee, and he is back out there playing. And these are the prime time years for Jerome Bettis.
On 2nd and 5, Bettis inside gets wrapped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Reggie Tongue up from the secondary to help out.
You know, I would say, though, in talking to Bill Cowher, we asked him about weigh-in. Every team in the NFL has weigh-in day every week. Some teams are a little less, you know, stringent about it, but certainly Pittsburgh is very strong about it. He says he makes sure that he knows exactly how much his players weigh, especially those players that have trouble handling their weight.
And if they're bad boys, he sends them to Canyon Ranch, right?
Something tells me he doesn't do that.
Well, he's thinking about it. 3rd and 4. The crowd is really into it, and Stewart is forced to take a timeout. So each team has utilized a timeout in this period. 2:02 left in the opening quarter. 3rd down play upcoming when we come back to Kansas City. Steelers by 4.
To the world at large, we are merely germs, small, insignificant bacterial growths. But today, we stand united, knowing full well the glorious reward that awaits each and every one of us. Sure, we're just germs. Looking out, I see more. I see heroes. Are we ready?
Ready, sir.
Do me proud.
1, 2, 3.
It's HBO.
This moment will live forever.
wait for the end of the month. I need to know right now. I am able to get information on the internet. I can go to my Prudential account online any time of the day. Prudential has definitely made me a better investor. I'm participating. I'm there. I'm looking at it. And I'm making some judgment calls, and I'm calling my financial advisor. I can make decisions. I have control over my finances, and that's important to me.
They moved out to the country, which made their father grumpy. The Hughley family.
Don't miss the Hughleys. See you Tuesday on ABC.
There is an NFL meeting tomorrow in Kansas City. Jerry Jones on the far left there, and you see Wayne Weaver looking to his right. Jeffrey Lurie, whose Eagles are on Monday Night Football next week. And there's Lamar Hunt, top of the screen, as we move away now. The owner of the Kansas City Chiefs and the owner of this franchise since day one is the Dallas Texans.
Lamar's got a big box, doesn't he?
Yes. 3rd down and 5, and Stewart is going to run for the first down and get it up to the 44-yard line.
Obviously, being a dynamic player like Cordell is, these are the types of things that basically drive defenses nuts. You know, you have a pretty decent pass rush. You're only rushing 3 guys. You don't want to let this happen to you. But this is where he can be so dangerous, and this is the part where he is being careful with the football and making first downs.
Boom, wouldn't you agree? If you're going to rush 3 guys, as Dan Rooney looks on, if you're going to rush 3, the linebackers have got to close in a hurry if Cordell's going to scramble. You can't expect those 3 linemen to contain him.
And on an end around, it's Courtney Hawkins, a beautifully designed play. They almost take his head off as he picks up about 8, maybe 10, as he was able to somehow snake his way to the 45-yard line and a possible first down. It is.
I think he ricocheted his way to the 45-yard line.
I like the way that Ray Sherman is using his playbook down tonight. He's running the bus up the middle. He's running a few reverse. Cordell's dropping back on first down, a little bit of play action. He's got it all out tonight for Cordell to make some plays with his players back with him.
Good ball handling, good faking, first down. Bus Bettis picks up 2. The bus to the 43. We're going to see the bus in 2 weeks. The Steelers are back on Monday Night Football in a fortnight. 2 weeks from tonight, we go to Pittsburgh for Green Bay at the Steelers. That's a matchup you don't see very often.
And Green Bay got back on track with a big win over Baltimore yesterday. Brett Favre looked like the Brett Favre we expect.
They're trying to hang in because Minnesota is unbeaten. Green Bay 2 back in the central. 2nd and 8. Blitz, and Davis is able to get a finger on him. Anthony Davis, with the old Neil Smith, hit the home run out of the park.
Your fullback, Tim Lester, has to stay up, and he can't let Davis run around him. Lester puts his head down like he's an actual bull, going for the red.
And that's the way the first quarter ends, with Pittsburgh leading Kansas City 7-3. And Monday Night Football resumes after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Bud.
Why?
Oh, boy. Bud.
Why? Why?
Louie,
What?
just say the line.
That's what I'm doing.
No, you're not. You're going, why?
These are my interpretations of the part.
This isn't Shakespeare. You're replacing a stressed-out frog.
Hey, Frankie, you know what they say?
What?
There are no small parts, only small lizards.
Nobody says that.
I do. I say it all the time.
Bud.
Lies.
Bud.
Lies?
You know, Joe's the kind of guy whose hands are always dirty, no matter how deep the scrub. You see, his hands are his livelihood. Rarely ever see any time off. His hands are strong, steady and sure. The kind of hands that can only grip the wheel of a truck. Of course, that truck is a Ford F-Series with a more powerful Triton engine and 50 years of toughness. You might say it fits Joe's hands like a glove. Not that he'd ever wear any. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Dallas and Philadelphia. Remember the last time they played Monday night? Philadelphia does.
That was impossible.
Next Monday at 8 on ABC.
From the family of minivans that have won more total awards than any other, with an available second sliding door, standard air conditioning, roomy 7-passenger seating, and easy-out roller seats. With all this, you may think it's one of the most expensive minivans you can buy. But it's not. It's the lowest price minivan you can buy. Plymouth Voyager. Only at your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
Mike Piazza hits the jackpot. I'll have that story after the game.
We start the second quarter. Al Michaels, Dan Deerdorf, Boomer Esiason, and Leslie Visser. Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. 7-3 Pittsburgh on a blocked punt for a touchdown. In the first quarter, it's third down now and 17. And Stewart out of the shotgun. Surveys, goes deep. The receiver cut off the route. Charles Johnson stopped, covered by Dale Carter, and it's fourth down and 17. College football coming up Saturday as the season really gets hot now. Number 1 Ohio State trying to retain that position against Indiana. Texas against Nebraska. Washington against USC. And Virginia takes on Wake Forest all Saturday. Regional action right here on ABC. Josh Miller to punt. Tamarick Vanover stands at the 10. Makes the catch at his shoe top and turns the corner. Cuts it back upfield and runs it back to the 47-yard line.
Well, there are different ways to break contain. Maybe the best way was pure, unadulterated speed. And that's what Vanover did on that punt return.
I don't want to buy a new PC every year till commencement. I needed one that would keep up with them. Gotta save something for college.
Introducing Yourware from Gateway. Call 1-800-GATEWAY and we'll custom build you a Gateway PC with an Intel processor and CD-ROM. Now for only $31 a month. And in 2 years, you could trade it in toward the purchase of a new one.
You guys make sneakers?
Call us now and let's talk about Yourware from Gateway.
A champion's pedigree.
We are a company built on engineering mastery. 300 gives us an all-out engineering car.
The all-new 99 Chrysler 300M Sports Sedan.
It's unique, and it's exciting, and it's a basic automotive experience.
The most horsepower, the most torque, and the widest stance in its class. The Chrysler 300M. The technology has changed, but the soul lives on. Lease the all-new Chrysler 300M for just $399 a month.
Okay, people, this is a phone, and this is $1. You still with me? Well, that's good. Now dial this number, and all your long-distance calls from home could cost less than $1. That's right, with 10-10-220, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents. Talk longer, and it's just 10 cents for each extra minute. No fees, no contracts. Am I right, Poochie? Just dial 10-10-220, then 1, then the number. Bottom line, you get up to 20 minutes on this for less than this. You got that? Good, because if I'm not mistaken, I think nature's calling my dog.
He'll never play in the NFL. He's too skinny, not like other quarterbacks. He'll never hold up. This is my shield against the noise.
Call now for your shield.
Here's what happened to the Steeler punter Josh Miller on the last run back.
Hey, punters, kickers, quarterbacks, you are fresh meat when you're out there and that ball's running free.
I think you got to do a little more than just turn your back. You know, put up some defense.
Well, I guess he thought the play was over, but the play is never over.
7 now. And Gerback slings one downfield, and it is caught, a rolling grab by Andre Rison. It's Rison against Lake in a terrific one-on-one matchup. One of the best wideouts in the league against one of the best defensive backs, period, because Carnell can play safety or corner.
That was a terrific throw that time by Elvis, but the play was made in the backfield. Donnell Bennett picked up 270-pound LeVon Kirkland on a blitz, and you can see Andre Rison is tough to stay with for Carnell Lake.
Lake even tried to grab him and couldn't do it. Rison fought through the whole downfield.
Donnell Bennett made a big block, though, in the backfield.
25-yard gain after the big run back. And now Gerback throws, and that is caught inside the 20-yard line by Andre. So back-to-back catches by the now healthy Rison. Wayne Washington with the coverage here.
You know, part of playing running back in the National Football League is you have to be able to pick up blitzes. And take a look at number 30, Donnell Bennett, on the previous play, picking up big old Levon Kirkland coming through there. Hit him low. That's a big man.
Now, normally you don't go low on a blitzing linebacker. I'm not sure Bennett had a lot of choice against Kirkland.
That's more than a linebacker, Dan. You and I both know that.
1st and 10, and Rashad Sheehy is in the backfield, along with Kimball Anders. Quarterback chased out, fires on the run, and a little too high for Derek Alexander in the back of the end zone, covered by Lee Flowers. Orpheus Roy did the chasing that time. Roy doing a nice job up front.
He sure is. And this whole, they have depth now on this Steeler defensive line with Henry, Roy, Steed across the front. Nolan Harrison, one of the guys they really count on. He's still out. Hopefully they'll have him back in a couple weeks. Oliver Gibson, another guy that gets in there and plays. Take a look at this. He's open immediately. But at that point in time, Elvis was fighting for his life back there. And by the time he finds Alexander, too late.
2nd down and 10, and Kimball Anders takes it to the 11-yard line before he is spun down. Anders, very versatile, a guy who can run with the ball, catch the ball, block. Been here for a number of years, and has been a very valuable asset for Marty Schottenheimer.
You know, one thing we are seeing tonight is a kind of a revamped passing game for Kansas City. It's actually the second game this season where they've had Rison, Alexander, and Gerbeck on the field together, and the first time at home. So we should see a better passing game, a more productive one.
3rd and 4. Gerbeck fires over the middle, and that's incomplete. And Gonzalez looks around for a flag and does not see one. Levon Kirkland with the legal coverage. 4th down.
Well,
Elvis stayed there as long as he could,
right.
Boomer.
He did, and he did a nice job of standing in the way of a blitz. You'll see number 41, Lethon Flowers, come through, but, you know, Gonzalez has got to get away from it. And with Gonzalez's background as a basketball player, you know, he should know, move away from that guy. Give the quarterback somewhere to throw the football.
29-yard field goal attempt for Stoyanovich. Aguiar gets the high snap down. Stoyo's kick is good. He's accounted for all of the scoring for Kansas City. 12:36 to the half. Pittsburgh 7, Kansas City 6.
Because of our passion for design and engineering, our vehicles speak for themselves. And recently, others have had some great things to say about our quality, too. Sebring Convertible, Total Quality Award. Town & Country, Total Quality Award. Cirrus, Best in Class and Initial Quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Concord, Best in Class and Initial Quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Making friends is our business was a motto that my grandfather created back in the 1950s when he came up with the slogan. Beer is about friendship, about relationships. It's about making friends, going out, meeting new people, and there's not a better beverage to do it with than a Budweiser. There are 500 million beer drinkers in the world, 80 million beer drinkers in the United States, and they must know something.
Need brakes? Come to Midas for a break on brakes. Now just $69.95 after rebate. You'll get our standard brake service and our lifetime guarantee. Midas is $69.95 brakes. It's worth stopping for.
Halloween Tuesday on ABC. A sexy woman
So this
makes a pass at Carter.
means nothing to you.
Strange goings on Spin City. See you Tuesday.
Sunday Night Football on ESPN. Oakland against Seattle, AFC West battle. And then next Monday night, we go to Philadelphia. The Eagles host the Cowboys. And Troy Aikman is back. Troy Aikman is back, and the starting lineup starts at quarterback next Monday night for the Dallas Cowboys at Philadelphia. Aguiar to kick off. And it's fielded by Will Blackwell at the 4-yard line. And Blackwell brings it back up to the 29. Well, guys, we come into this game. Each team is 4-2, but the expectations for the fans in each city is so high that there's been a lot of moaning in Pittsburgh and Kansas City despite the records.
And wasn't Bill Cowher quick to point that out to us? Wait a minute. If it wasn't for that fluke loss at Cincinnati, this would be a 5-1 ball club, and yet everybody's dumping all over us.
A fluke loss in Cincinnati?
Well, it was
any shot you could take at the
no,
Jets,
I'm
the
just
Bengals.
saying that was a game they thought they had won.
But they didn't win it.
No, they did not.
Aberrational loss. First and 10 from the 29-yard line.
Whoa, watch out.
And Stewart's pass underthrown. McMillan is saying throw the flag for offensive interference and doesn't get one. And Derek Thomas put the heat on the quarterback that time.
Sometimes, you know, sacks obviously are important, but pressures and the sense of a player that is there, like a Derek Thomas, especially when you play here in Arrowhead. I mean, he uses the noise to his advantage. Very difficult for these tackles to block a man like him one-on-one because they cannot hear when the ball is being snapped.
Speaking of tackles, Boomer, I see that the Pittsburgh offensive line is going to take a hit as Justin Strelzik now heads towards the sidelines, and in comes Jermaine Stevens. So they get Will Wolford back over at the left side. Strelzik gets to go back home, and now he gets injured. So things are getting mighty thin over on the offensive line now for the Steelers.
A team that lost John Jackson to free agency in the offseason up front.
He is now in the great Northwest with Seattle.
Second down and 10 as Bettis takes it up to the 35-yard line. It'll be third down and 4.
Justin Strelzik on the play where he got hurt was trying to block Derek Thomas. There he is at right tackle. Here comes Thomas. Ooh, and he just goes to plant. Well, and the double move by Derek Thomas as he tries to come back inside. And, boy, that really flexed on Justin Strelzik.
And this is Fuamatu Ma'afala, the rookie. They snapped it directly to him. And Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala, a Bettis lookalike, and we saw him in a preseason game in Canton, takes it up to the 38, but not enough for the first down. Direct snap to him.
Actually, they caught Kansas City in a blitz, and they were pinching down inside. It's a good defensive call by the Kansas City Chiefs that time. Gunther Cunningham.
I want to correct myself, Al. Did I say John Jackson went to Seattle? Actually, San Diego, actually.
You had him going west.
Oh, I knew where he was.
Right direction.
I knew where he was.
Josh Miller punting, fielded at the 13. Flag is thrown. Vanover tackled at the 18. The flag is thrown at the line of scrimmage. And that's a hold against Kansas City.
What they try to do on the line of scrimmage is hold up the guys that are covering. And sometimes they'll get a little over-aggressive, and they'll pull on the jersey and think that they're going to get away from it. But they're told, the umpires and the referees, to look for that a little bit more this year.
Well, Mike Stock, the special teams coach of the Chiefs, is hoping that it was post-kick.
Holding 97 on the receiving team during the kick. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Okay, you never know when it's thrown at the line of scrimmage, but it was post-kick. And thus they'll have the ball, but back at the 6. 10:59 to the half.
There is no limit to where it can take you. A leather-trimmed and preferred suede interior, heated front seats, and dual-zone temperature control. The winner of the Total Quality Award for Best Ownership Experience. The most luxurious minivan you can buy. Chrysler Town & Country. We call it limited. You'll call it unlimited. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. Now, get $1,000 cash allowance on Chrysler Town & Country.
This is a world only a few know well. A world of risk and uncertainty, where the roads can take you to success or prosperity, or sometimes to no place at all. This is the financial world.
decades, banks and investment firms of mountainous size have ruled the land. Yet high above the horizon, another mountain has risen. A mountain called First Union. With 16 million customers, the nation's 8th largest brokerage and 6th largest bank. For a new perspective of the financial world, come to the mountain called First Union. Or if you prefer, the mountain will come to you.
On 2020 Wednesday, you'll meet Athena Onassis, the richest little girl in the world. There's an epic battle over her fortune.
Diane Sawyer, Sam Donaldson, 2020 Wednesday.
I think the commissioner is keeping tabs on us. We saw him in Jacksonville. We saw him in New England last week.
The bright lights?
Yes. From the 6-yard line. Bennett close to a first down as he's tackled by Levon Kirkland.
You know, the Kansas City Chiefs traded for Bam Morris from the Chicago Bears, and I think it's a little bit of two things going on here. One is that you want to have depth in your backfield, but the other thing is that you want to push the player that has the position. And I think we've seen that so far from Donnell Bennett. He's blocking well. He's running well tonight. You can see Bam Morris, the big boy right there.
Yeah, they gave a 5th-round draft choice to the Bears. Conditional, though, on Morris not getting in any type of trouble as long as he's here with the Kansas City organization.
2nd and 1. And this is Bennett, and Morris is active tonight. There was some question as to whether he would be, but he could see some activity as Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Budweiser. Since 1876, the classic American lager. Chrysler engineered to be great cars. And Gateway, let's talk about your Gateway.
The subtle messages are sent to players all the time, and by bringing in other players that play your position, they might draft somebody that's real high, and those are the things that lead to the paranoia of an NFL football player.
Well, keep in mind they used to have a guy here last year named Marcus Allen, right, trying to fill that void.
From the 20, going deep and too deep. Derek Alexander laying out for it, but too deep, and Gerback comes off holding his hand.
You know, Elvis had Alexander on that particular plate. What you really want to do is throw it a little bit higher, get a little bit more air under it. And these two have not had a chance to work together extensively. You can see right here, Alexander's flying and runs past Cornell Lake. All you want to do as a quarterback is lay the ball out there and let the receiver run underneath it.
Justin Strelzik gets the worst kind of ride back to a locker room. They work on his right knee. We'll get a further report. 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Back to the ground and back to Bennett. You can hear that one in the parking lot. Levon Kirkland.
And Jason Gilden. Bang. Linebackers are the strength of a 3-4 defense. And when you have the 4 linebackers like the Pittsburgh Steelers have, tough veterans, players that are stout at the point of attack, this is what happens when you meet them in a hole.
Well, they're so huge. I mean, Gilden's 255. Kirkland is 270. You're just not supposed to be that big and be able to have that much range, that much athleticism. It's not right.
3rd and 9 out of the 4 wide out set. And they find Rison. Great little move. And then Andre reaching forward to make sure he gets the first down. Tackled by Henry, and he got it.
But there is one thing that the Kansas City offense has not done well, and that's their 3rd down conversion, Dan. I mean, they are 26th in the NFL in converting 3rd downs, and their big problem has been is that it's always been 3rd and long. And tonight, you know, they were talking about it. Their goal is to get the 3rd and short. That was a 3rd and long again. But now what they have them all together, the quarterback can hit the receivers, and they can make some plays after they catch the football.
Pittsburgh leading by a point. Chiefs first down, 10. Bennett cuts it back. Donnell Bennett up past the 40. Tackled by Flowers at the 45. And another first down. 8 minutes to the half. Let's check in with Leslie Visser.
Al, as you know, Andre Rison does not lack for confidence. He told me before the game that he is the best receiver in the NFL. When I reminded him that Jerry Rice holds 5 NFL records, he made an unusual distinction. He said, Rice is the best who ever played. I'm the best playing now, Al.
This guy could testify before a grand jury, couldn't he?
Yes, he could. It probably has.
Yeah. What is the definition of is? Is what? First down for the 44. going deep. And trying to get a flag was Risen, but the referee, the officials know exactly what's going on.
He's beautiful.
Let's get serious now. Everybody, regardless of their position, has a lot of confidence in this game. If you don't have confidence, you're in big trouble.
Oh, there's 22 egomaniacs down there on the field. There's no question about that.
Andre just has maybe a little more than his fair share.
And there's 2 egomaniacs up here in the booth.
I know, and I have to deal with you and Al all the time.
There he is, Andre. He says, I love to play on Monday Night Football. He says, I play a lot of primetime games, but Monday night, that's the real McCoy. That's the genuine article. He speaks the truth. Second down and 10 from the 44. Going deep for Lockett, and that's incomplete.
Elvis needs to wind down the rheostat a little bit.
Well, they throw the ball down the field. They're getting some bump and run coverage underneath, and he's not being able to find his receivers. They're not able to shake loose, so he's really taking a shot outside.
There's Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, saying, what do I have to do to get Elvis to stop cranking the ball here?
And the Steelers on defense bring what they're calling the fire zones. You know, they bring those defensive backs and their linebackers up the middle, and they'll drop off the defensive ends in the middle of the field, and Elvis can't find his receivers behind those big guys.
We saw Rich Gannon on the sideline, the guy who came in for the 4.5 games that Gerbach missed. Third down and 10. Good protection as he throws, and that one's underthrown, and Elvis got hit as he released it. Derek Alexander was the intended receiver, covered by Deshae Townsend.
And you can see number 24, Chris Oldham, in the backfield, hitting Elvis Gerbach. That's a zone blitz. You see the small numbers, the defensive backs coming from the outside up the middle, and they're the ones that are getting to the quarterback. And Elvis has got to sit in there, and he's got to give his receivers a chance to work down the field. He does it bravely, but not something that you want to have happen the whole night.
Aguilar, who had the first career block, lead to a touchdown, booms this one into the end zone.
But you know what, guys? A pretty good drive for the Kansas City Chiefs. No points, but keep in mind, they started that thing inside their own 10.
It's about a vision for moving Earth, goods, even children better, more safely. Backed by people driven to exceed your expectations. Come ride with a leader that's taking a new road. International. Delivering beyond the expected.
With some of the most advanced safety systems ever engineered into a 4x4, including QuadraDrive, our most advanced four-wheel drive system ever, and an all-new quick-response steering system, it's no wonder the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee is one of the safest ways to cross treacherous terrain. The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most capable sport utility ever.
He gave you nightmares. He made you scream twice. Now he's warning you. Wes Craven presents Don't Look Down, the ABC Thursday Halloween event.
The Bud airship. Our aerial coverage provided by Anheuser-Busch, hovering high above Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Built with unbelievable foresight. The plans for this place in the 60s and then built in the early 70s. And you drive up and you think it's been open about 2 weeks. From the 20-yard line on first down, Pettis to the 21.
Al and Boomer, I played in the first game. You never played here.
That man,
at Arrowhead.
How long ago was that?
It was in 1972, 26 years ago. And Al, you make a great point. This stadium is timeless. this entire Truman Sports Complex with Royal Stadium next door, it is still state-of-the-art.
Well, when you think about it, this stadium was built at about the same time as Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, all of which are going to be out of commission before too long. Second down and 8. And that's incomplete. Intended for Lester. And, of course, this is part of that sports complex. Boy, that looks like a painting, doesn't it? That's actually Royals or Kauffman Stadium now, where the Kansas City Royals play. And the common parking lot, and then panning over to Arrowhead.
And what a wonderfully aromatic parking lot it is.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a great drive into this stadium. 35, 40,000 people on this lot, 3 hours before kickoff.
Schottenheimer demonstrative with Mike Stock, the special teams coach. Third down and 8 now. And Stewart sets up the screen and is caught by Lester. And he gets pummeled as he reaches the 23, Guamatu Ma'afala, and he's tackled at the 23-yard line, well shy of the first down.
Really get these safe passes on third down, screen passes, get completions, try to let one of your backs make a play. And that really all goes back to, the way the quarterback is playing. If he's not playing or comes into the game not playing at a really, really high level, they're going to be very, very conservative, especially when they're winning on the road.
Miller to punt. Gone. Vanover back, and it's an angle kick. Vanover makes the catch at the 24, and great coverage by Hines Ward, a kid out of Georgia who can be a running back, a wide receiver, has a lot of speed, and a special teams maven, as he proves right there. Tomorrow night, with Jimmy Smits on only 4 more episodes. You don't want to miss this all-new Blue, NYPD Blue, tomorrow night, 10 Eastern and Pacific, 9 o'clock Central, right here on ABC.
That's a great show, boys.
From day one.
First down, KC, 5:41 left in the first half. On the 21-yard line. And straight ahead goes Bam Morris for the first time. Morris carries as a Chief, so he's going up against his ex-teammates, a team he helped guide into the Super Bowl. Then he had all sorts of legal problems, spent time in jail, was actually in the Chiefs training camp this year, but they didn't sign him. Went to Chicago, they signed him, and then the Bears wound up, as Dan said before, trading him for a conditional pick back to the Chiefs. Sees his first action and sees some more action here, and Bam takes it up to the 29-yard line.
One of the things we will see is that it's going to be simple when he's in there. It's going to be right or left. Probably not going to ask him to do too much pass blocking, but they just want to get him the ball, make him feel comfortable. He's only been here a couple of weeks, so he has a short playlist.
Well, here comes Kimball Anders into the lineup, which automatically gives the Chiefs a whole lot more versatility. Marty said it's almost a sure sign that if Morris is in there, that it's going to be a running play. He's just not up to speed in our passing game yet.
Kind of like a sure sign if Jerome Bettis is in there, it's going to be a running play.
Third down and 2 on the 29-yard line. And the pass is caught, and was progress for a first down there? Yes, it was. Rison makes the catch. He threw the beanbag to the official, and it's a first down.
And that's a good look at what Andre Rison really is. And that is a very versatile receiver. He's not just one of those guys that's comfortable streaking down the sideline on a fly pattern. He'll catch the 2-yard ball. He'll take the big hit from a linebacker, and he'll hold on to it. This is a real tough guy.
Well, he's also matured, too. It's kind of like Jerome Bettis. They had a little bump in their career, and, you kind of get scared a little bit because people shy away from you. He's got another opportunity here in Kansas City and certainly made the most of it.
5 catches already tonight. Contact was made as the play gets off to a slow start, but Morris is still able to pick up a couple as Joe Horn actually ran into Gerbach before he was able to get the handoff off.
I don't think old Joe was supposed to be right behind Elvis at the snap of the ball.
A lot of time, guys, that players will come in with such high expectations of themselves. They'll have a great rookie year, maybe a great second year. Then after that, they'll tail off. And then they'll get left on the waiver wire. And really, you know, with Bam Morris, with Jerome Bettis, with Andre Rison, we're seeing players who have been able to at least try to resurrect their career somewhere else.
2nd and 7. This is Bennett back in the game, and Donnell takes it up to the 40-yard line, setting up a 3rd and long 2, short 3.
Marty told us last night their goal was to get into 3rd and short. 2nd, 2 yards to 4 yards. 3rd and 2 to 4 yards, and right now that's where they've been in the last few 3rd downs, and they've been able to convert, which obviously has not boded well for them this season.
Third and 2 at the 40-yard line. Quarterback throws, and Rison with a toe dance makes the catch. So there's Andre again, moving the chains as he did on the prior series. Short gain needed, makes the catch, moves the 6, 1st down.
3rd and short, you can do so many things. You can block 8 guys, take a 3-step drop and just fling it out into the flat and make a quick play like that for a 1st down.
They'll let the clock tick to the 2-minute warning. Chiefs said Gonzalez was the intended receiver for what would have been a big game. 2 ways to look at it. We'll look at a commercial right now. Back, Levon Kirkland getting a blow on the bench as Louis Aguiar will punt. Line of scrimmage is the 50. Hawkins back to receiver. Short kick. Fair caught at the 17. So 2 timeouts left and 52 seconds for the Steelers to work some magic. And we check in Baltimore with Chris Berman. The first half possessions for Pittsburgh have resulted in 4 punts. Their touchdown was on a block punt recovered in the end zone. They're now also minus their tackle, Justin Strelzik, right knee sprain, out for the rest of the game. Inside handoff to Fred McAfee. Flag is thrown. Freddie has a temporary 1st down pending the penalty.
It's going to be offsides against the Kansas City Chiefs. And really what you like to do here as an offense, you want to hand the ball, see if you can gain some yards.
58 defense. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
And now you get a little field position, and you could be a little bit freer with your play calls here now and let your quarterback try to make a play for you in the 2-minute drill.
Derek Thomas just attempting to anticipate the snap count. He really wasn't drawing offsides. That was a calculated gamble on his part, and he was wrong.
You might see the handoff again here as well, but
Steeler offense spread across the field. And intended for Blackwell and broken up there by Robert Williams.
And that's exactly the kind of mistake that you don't want to see your quarterback make, is turn it over, and that was mighty close. Hey, keep in mind, Bill Cowher and Marty Schottenheimer are 2 coaches that are unconcerned about going to halftime, either being up or down by a point. And they like close games, and Robert Williams was a little closer maybe than you would have liked.
On 2nd and 10, it's a handoff to McAfee again, and McAfee takes it up to the 41-yard line. Gang tackle timeout. Bill says take that 1st of 2. They have 1 remaining.
See, Cordell has got to make sure he knows exactly how to manage the position. He should have been standing right there waiting to see what McAfee did. If he made yards, he wants to turn right to the official and say, hey, timeout, I want it right now. And he probably lost about 3 or 4 seconds there by not doing that.
Interesting number of their statistic there. Only team in the league without a point on any drive begun in the last 2 minutes of a half, and this would be the 13th such drive.
Kind of the anti-2-minute drill for the Steelers.
Well, you know, this is where Cordell has really got to mature as a quarterback. You know, this is where you want to feel confident with what your quarterback is doing, and really he's been kind of mired in a slump, if you will. He came out of it a little bit last week, had some big plays against the Ravens, but you know, he has been struggling. But the last 3 games have been better than his first 3 games, and this could really be a particular part in his season that could help him, you know, fall to that next level.
And now you have the luxury of at least being out beyond your own 40-yard line.
They have 1 timeout left. as he throws. It's out of bounds. Second down. Pressure put on that time by Ron George and Chester McLaughlin.
It kind of looks to me like, he's backing up in the pocket. He's kind of moving. He's looking down at the pass rush as opposed to really stepping into his throw. And a lot of times, as a quarterback, when you're struggling, you don't really look downfield as much as you would like. The best thing he did there was he threw it out of bounds.
And intentionally.
Right.
Second and 10. And there was movement up front, and that's off the fingertips of Charles Johnson, and up front Ron George may have jumped, precipitating the flag.
Going to be offsides again for Kansas City Chiefs. Oh.
And that's what Marty calls a concentration foul. That's just a mistake.
55 defense. The 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's just letting your mind wander. That's just not paying attention to the details that are right in front of you. Just hate to give somebody another shot at it.
Well, I'd like to see the Steelers try to use the middle of the field here. There's plenty of room in there. And then take a timeout as soon as the receiver gets it if he can't get out of bounds.
Second and 5, and they went again. Jumping up front one more time, and then opening, making the catch is David Dunn, recently acquired for the Bengals at the 31-yard line.
I think at that time Leslie O'Neal was a Kansas City player who was in the neutral zone.
Well, they can decline this, so they can run another play, and they have a timeout, and they're already in field goal range.
91 defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
This is wonderful discipline we're seeing by the Steelers offensive line, staying at home with all this jumping that's happening across the line of scrimmage. And that was a good throw to David Dunn, a guy you know.
I played with David Dunn last year, and when I saw him out on the field, I said, that can't be him. He's missing 15 pounds. And that's why he's not in Cincinnati, but he's down to 217 now. He's a tough guy over the middle. He'll make the play for you.
First catch is a Steeler. Now McAfee trying to make it easier for Johnson. And they'll take a timeout as it's run down to the 17-yard line. So there's their final timeout. And now Norm Johnson will have about a 34-yard field goal attempt.
And this may break that streak. Did this drive start inside the 2 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, this was inside the 2-minute warning. If Norm Johnson converts, the Steelers will get off the schneid.
Very smartly called 2-minute drill by Ray Sherman that time, picking and choosing, handing the ball off, and conversely on the side of the Kansas City Chiefs, 2 huge offside penalties. I mean, just can't happen.
No. They really got some solid running from Fred McAfee.
You see David Dunn right there, number 83. He was our third wide receiver in Cincinnati last year. He had trouble with weight. The Bengals got off to a bad start. And a lot of times what a coach or a team will do will actually cut a guy to make an example of somebody.
Mike Tomczak to hold, 35 yards. And Norm Johnson extends the lead as the clock runs out. And thus it is the end of the first half in Kansas City, ending with a Johnson field goal and making the score at the half. The Pittsburgh Steelers 10 and the Kansas City Chiefs 6. Coming up on the
new stars, TG, Terrell Davis of the undefeated Denver Broncos. In 7 games, he already has 1,000 yards, joining the legendary Jim Brown and O.J. Simpson as the only men ever to do it. The incomparable Jerry Rice, first Niner play from scrimmage. He caught a pass from Steve Young, 184 straight games, breaking the mark of Art Monk. Remember last December, Reggie Brown, spine injury, resuscitated on the field for the Lions. The emotional moment of the weekend, he returned to the Silverdome to visit his mates yesterday. The moves of the week. Terrell Owens of the Niners on the reverse against the Rams. Watch this at the 10 and at the 5. What? The Niners beat the Rams for the 16th straight time. Did they hit like this in the 70s? Boom! Victor Green and the Jets level Steve DeBerg. Jerome Henderson could go all the way. Touchdown Jets. The catches of the week. What about Mark Brunell? To John Elway? And the spike. And at the World Series, forget the bat. Mark McGuire's got great hands. And speaking of the series, a sweep. They did it with class. They were the best. The New York Yankees, 125 wins. Congratulations. What a day for King. Jeff Wilson to the Rams. Recovers his own onside kick. What about the Oilers trying for the timed field goal against the Bears? Craig Hentrick at the top, Al Del Greco at the bottom. Both field goal kickers on the field. Neither of them made the kick. What? In 1970, Tom Dempsey entered the record books with the Saints. Joe Scarpati on his own 37 with the hold. Dempsey for the winner against the Lions. Good! 63 yards. Yesterday, Tom Ruin with a great job on the hold. Jason Elam of the Broncos drills this 63-yarder to join Dempsey in the record.
Well, that's Ted Popson, the reserve tight end.
But that was a tough call right there. It looked like he got leverage and actually ran his man over.
The flag came from about 25 yards away.
Well, that's a tough call. That is. Whew.
There it is again. And that's more of a case of him putting a good block on a guy and then the guy going down, Hines Ward, and it makes it look like you tackled him.
Big toss and a lot of room for Gerbach. Oh. And then Elvis gets rammed by Carnell Lake up at the 38-yard line. Check in with Leslie Visser. Leslie.
Al, Bill Cowher must be breathing a sigh of relief, but at halftime he said he would like the Steeler offense to finish a drive. He said that last drive at the end of the second quarter was the best drive all season. One very serious note, you reported Justin Strelzik's knee injury. Bill Cowher told me that he was told it's very significant. He could be out for the year. Al?
Very bad break. Justin Strelzik helping to cement that offensive line. Second down and 4. And Bennett runs right into All-Pro LeVon Kirkland. One of the reasons he is All-Pro. Halftime numbers in a very low-scoring game. And the numbers will reflect that. Just 18 total first downs in the game.
And technically, a blocked punt doesn't count as a turnover. But the blocked punt, certainly the most significant happening in this game so far, accounting for 7 of Pittsburgh's 10 points.
Steelers only 38 yards through the air. On third down, it's caught for a first down by Kevin Lockett. Their second-round pick out of Kansas State last year, tackled by Lake, and they have the ball in Steeler territory.
You know, the one thing in watching Elvis Gerbach play, he's very settled in the pocket. He's a rhythmic quarterback. He likes to throw the ball with nice touch. He's got an easy catchable football. You could see him reading the coverage. He sees that the center of the field opens up, and he goes right to where the weakness of the defense is. And that's the value of having a quarterback that's been in this West Coast offense for the time that he's been there.
From the 47 of the Steelers, tackled by Evans, gains 3 to the 44-yard line.
Boomer, I think back to that last shot we just had of Elvis Gerbach looking at the middle of the field. How many incompletions did you throw when you had that kind of field of vision down the, you know, right down the pipe like that? I mean, you ought to be an 80% passer with that kind of look.
Easily, and the good thing about that is that your offensive linemen are clearing the path out for you. You have a nice, easy read right down the middle of the field, and then really Lockett did a nice job of getting away from Carnell Lake to the open part of the field.
On 2nd and 7, the blitz is picked up nicely, but the pass is intercepted by Darren Perry. And with a nice hurdle move, he's into Chiefs territory, and then Risen knocks the ball loose, and Gerbach, if he's inbounds, has recovered it for Kansas City.
They're discussing, did he recover it inbounds? Yes, he did.
Elvis Gerbach hustling at the end of the play, and Risen made it happen by jarring it loose, and Andre's down.
I think Andre's tired.
I will tell you, give Andre Rison all the credit in the world for coming back and making this play.
Well, now maybe he's more than tired. They're signaling over to the Kansas City sideline for the training staff. Rison was the intended receiver. Underthrown ball. Boy, this is a nice run by Perry. But there is the tomahawk chop by Andre Rison. It springs it loose, and Elvis hustling over. But this is still a concern. Watch Andre Rison intentionally strip the ball from Darren Perry. But a bigger concern right now, Andre Rison's still down.
The Chiefs are your team, Kansas City.
Greatest receiver in the NFL today, according to himself. I think he's a little tired, but he does a nice job of coming back and stripping the football. And Elvis Gerbach, who's doing what he's supposed to do, playing safety, comes up with a fumble recovery.
And Donnell Bennett takes it up to the 24-yard line. This drive beginning at the 19, and the Steelers is down.
So we play the first half with no turnovers, and then we have 2 turnovers on 1 play.
Back to back, yep. Kevin Henry is the shaken Steeler.
You know, the thing that they tell you when you throw an interception as a quarterback is get back and push everything to the sideline and try not to take any hits. And the defensive linemen are told to go after the quarterback. It's a free shot for them.
Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the NFL and the Super Bowl. Nissan, who reminds you that life is a journey, enjoy the ride. And Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
Hey, where's the area that we were staying in? Is it the Plaza area of Kansas City?
Country Club Plaza.
Yes.
That's a pretty nice area now.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Man.
Boomer, you're with us, baby.
First class.
You're with us.
Very first class. Very nice.
When you play, you don't get a chance to see those things.
No,
you
you
get
don't.
locked up in the meetings, and
you get hot breakfast with us too.
Right, exactly. That was terrific. What a
Really?
nice area. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
It's really going uptown, isn't it, Boomer?
Yes,
Really
it
going
is.
uptown.
You had eggs Benedict, and what, eggs Benedict?
This morning,
right,
half of one.
And Janoff was waiting for his oatmeal, picking at it, making sure things weren't in it.
This idle time can be a dangerous thing with a Esiason.
I didn't even want to discuss what you were eating this morning.
Were you watching? Were you paying that much attention?
There wasn't enough food there.
You must be writing another book.
Well, Kevin Henry is out for at least the play. It is second down. Jeremy Statt replaces him, number 94, rookie out of Arizona State, 2nd and 5. And that's dropped by the tight end, Tony Gonzalez.
Well, that's 2 balls that he's dropped tonight. They have very high hopes for him. He's shown flashes that he can really be a force in this league, especially in the passing game. But balls like this, you have to catch if you're a tight end. It's not a pretty throw. It's behind him, but he's got to make sure that he has the concentration of staying right there. And you can watch Levon Kirkland coming right now. He almost makes the interception. You know you're going to get hit. You might as well catch the ball.
Especially if you're a tight end. It shouldn't be a surprise.
3rd down and 5. They pick up the blitz, and then the pass is incomplete, intended for Gonzalez. Covered by Chris Oldham. 4th down.
Ball sound a little bit on Elvis now, and his down the field throws, and he's struggling to get a rhythm.
And the crowd lets him know it as well. 9 out of 23 is Elvis for 120 yards. Louis Aguiar to send it down to Courtney Hawkins. Courtney fields it at the 30. And Hawkins brings it back up to the 41-yard line. Pittsburgh starts from that spot with 11:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. Henry had come off because of the injury, and on 1st down, Stewart intends his pass for Hawkins. It's incomplete, covered by Mark McMillan.
Now, if you have a young quarterback struggling, you could do things to help him out and put him in situations that he feels comfortable in. And this is one of the things that Cordell does very well, and that's throw the ball on the run off of play action. And these are the types of things that Ray Sherman will want to get back to make sure that his quarterback is comfortable. It's a very well-thrown ball at that particular play. A ball that probably should have been caught on the sideline. Here's Ray. I had him as my offensive coordinator my 2nd year as a New York Jet.
Last year, he was the quarterback's coach at Minnesota on 2nd down and 10. This is Bettis. And he takes it out to the 50-yard line. 3rd and 1.
How great is that? It's 2nd down and 10, and you give it to your big old running back and let him get 9 yards for you.
And the big old running back, Boomer, knows how to finish a play. Seldom does Jerome Bettis be pushed back towards his own line of scrimmage at the end of a play. This is how you finish. Contact, and you go forward 2 more yards. That's a lot of momentum.
3rd and 1. The bus again. Splits the middle. First down and a lot more to the 36-yard line off of a Tim Lester block.
Al, we did a Sugar Bowl one time when Jerome Bettis was at Notre Dame, and we saw that uncanny niftiness when he got downfield. Watch how he makes people miss. Right there. He makes Reggie Tongue do a complete whiff, and that's not often you see a 250-pound guy do that.
I just want to know where the linebackers are, because if you're going to be playing a 3-4 defense, your inside people have got to make those plays at the line of scrimmage.
Bettis, after leaving Tongue speechless, gets stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah.
He certainly didn't receive a lashing.
Oh, please.
Or a licking either.
Well, that was a good play by the Kansas City run defense that time. They got Jerome going parallel to the line of scrimmage. That's where you want him. You do not want the long axes of his body perpendicular to the goal line.
2nd and 10. Stewart throwing into traffic, and is dropped by Bruner. Mark Bruner, a guy that a lot of people in Pittsburgh would love to see the ball gotten to more.
Well, he's not going to get very many more chances if he drops them like that. You know, you're looking for somebody to make a play for you, and Cordell puts the ball right where you want it. Both of these tight ends are dropping the ball inside of traffic. You know, like you said, Dan, when you are a tight end, you're going to get hit. You might as well catch the ball. You got to be physical in there.
Mark tried to catch that thing with his hands.
3rd down and 10, and here comes the blitz. Play clock down to 3, a little toss, and then looking back for Stewart was Hines Ward, and he hits Cordell, and he takes it to the 20. Now, Cordell Stewart used to be known as Slash because of all the things he can do, and Hines Ward is kind of a junior Slash.
Well, that's as good a throw as we've seen any of the quarterbacks make all game.
What a nice catch.
Yeah.
Figure, hey, look, everybody else is dropping it. I'm going to throw it.
Oh, but look at the
throw to me.
First of all, let's start with the quality of this throw by Hines Ward. All the way across the field, and he drops this right on the palms of Cordell Stewart.
That's the way you catch a football, guys.
So on a 3rd and 10, they convert on the first pass of Ward's career. And then they go back to the bus. And he takes it just inside the 20.
I would not want to have to tackle that man.
You can feel it.
Right, you can hear the popping up here. Helmets hitting each other.
Hines Ward was a high school quarterback. And there he is, a kid they drafted out of Georgia. I mean, how many guys have they turned out in Athens in recent years?
What's that?
Terrell Davis and Garrison Hurst and Robert Edwards and Hines Ward.
They used to have that guy down there named Walker, too, didn't
Yeah. Heard of him. 2nd and 9. Bettis to the short side of the field. Lunges to the 13.
You know what's the amazing thing about the Steeler running game? You have big old Jerome Bettis. When they hand him the ball, it looks like it takes so long for it to get in motion. But when it gets in motion, it's like, where is everybody on the defense?
Well, I think there's some optical illusion involved here, Boomer. He's moving faster than you think.
Yeah, but you can see that's just a little delayed handoff there, a little draw. But I mean, where is the Kansas City defense?
Take a look at the end of this play right here. Yes, that's seeking shelter from the storm.
3rd down and a short 3 from the 13-yard line. Stewart flings it into traffic, and good coverage, but too good, I guess. Dale Carter draped all over Charles Johnson.
You can't go through the receiver to make a play on the football, and I think that's what Dale Carter was doing there.
He actually had good coverage. He was right there. They tried to go over the back of Johnson.
Holding 34 defense. The 5-yard penalty and automatic first down.
You can't grab him like that either. It's one of the things that DBs try to get away with. They try to grab and they try to hold, but when you're down there in this side of a field, the officials are right on top of you.
I think his first mistake is when he pulled his jersey all the way over his shoulder pad. that might have been the first indication to the official that there was a little something going on.
Attracts attention. First and goal from the 8. The bus halfway to the end zone as he takes it to the 4. It'll be second and goal.
I don't think Bill Cowher could have picked a better way to play this football game for his football team. Good special teams, no turnovers, forcing turnovers, and just running Jerome Bettis right up the middle.
The Steelers, mainly because of a guy like Bettis, when they've gotten deep into their opponent's territory, i.e. the red zone, they run much more than they pass.
Well, keep in mind how well their quarterback runs, too.
Yep. He's another running threat. This time it's Bettis again, and a nice tackle. Before he can get out of the backfield, Chester McLaughlin in for only a few plays tonight, maybe 20, Marty Schottenheimer said, and making the most of them.
Well, it's the same move he made before for his defensive coordinator, Gunther Cunningham, right there. It's just a pinch move, but as an offensive lineman, you expect that pinch move in short yardage. He gets inside Jermaine Stevens, but yet is able to come back outside and make the play. And here comes the Arrowhead crowd.
Third and goal, huge play for the Kansas City defense. And it's knocked down at the goal line. Bruner, the intended receiver, covered by the linebacker Wayne Simmons. And thus Pittsburgh will have to settle for a field goal attempt, and Kansas City will keep them within a touchdown.
Boomer, let me ask you a question. When you run a route inside 5 yards, do the officials let you get away as a defender with more contact?
Well, really, they'll let you get away with a little contact if you're an offender, if you're an offensive player. But you know, right there, I think it was a good no call. It was something that, you know, they let them play. They let them play football. That's what I like.
Yes. But those close patterns, there is bouncing going on all the time.
Norm Johnson, a 22-yard field goal attempt. Held by Tom Zach. Kick is good. But the Kansas City defense, when they had to do now by 7. And Kamar's Vanover takes it at the 5-yard line. Up past the 30. Flag comes in from behind up to the 37-yard line, where he's tackled by Lance Brown, who has been a special teams maven tonight, and this one's going to cost the Chiefs a lot of yardage as Mike Stock, the special teams coach, looks on.
51 on the return team, on the run back. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Greg Monuski. And that will move them back inside the 20. Coming up on the left side of the screen, there is the hold, as the Chiefs have it with 5:20 to go in the third. On a gorgeous late October evening, high above Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, the Chiefs start this drive from the 22. Andre Rison is in the game. He was shaken up earlier. First down. Reverse roll. That's caught by Alexander, who splits defensive backs on the move inside the 20. Taken down finally by Lee Flowers at the 12.
What a terrific throw by Elvis Gerbach, a right-hander rolling to his left. I thought he was going to take the guy underneath, but that's why I'm up here. And he's down there. He goes for Alexander, running the deep over pattern. He has a guy right in the flat below. He could just drop it off to him. You'll see.
Look how Pittsburgh climbs all over that play action, Boomer.
A nice throw rolling to his left against the grain and hitting Alexander right in stride.
65-yard gain, and now it's Bennett moving the pile to the 9-yard line. That's Gerbach's longest pass play as a Chief. Remember, he came over from the 49ers. Marty Schottenheimer, doesn't even matter who is barking signals. He's been through a number of them, and look at that. He's had 7 guys start 10 or more games for him through the years, and the winning percentage for each is over 600.
Some pretty good guys in that list, though, there.
Yep. Whew. Second down and 6. Thrown, caught. Gonzalez eased to the 2-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down.
So this is the value of a quarterback who's been in this system. He can drop back. He can use his eyes to move the outside linebacker, Jason Gilden, that time. Jump on his flat route, and he threw it right in behind Jason.
Gonzalez looked that one in.
You better catch that one, man. I say, you know, one more, and I'm like, get him off the field already.
Tight formation, first and goal. Gonzalez in motion from the 2. Bennett's the tailback. Bennett with the ball. And Bennett hammered. Got to about the 1 or 1.5. Second and goal. Oliver Gibson led the charge.
One thing about a game between Kansas City and Pittsburgh, there will be long lines tomorrow at the hot whirlpool. There will be some stiffness and some soreness after this baby tonight.
There'll be a lot of ice on some bumps.
Man.
A lot of marks left on people's bodies tonight.
They are leaving marks.
Second and goal, they spotted right at the 2, so no gain on the last play for Bennett, who lines up behind the fullback Richardson. And Elvis tried to throw into the end zone, wide open, and he missed him, was Gonzalez.
How do you do that? How do you miss a guy who's... Boomer, lean up here. You got to explain this.
I can't.
You have to explain this.
Well...
Come on.
I'm going to try.
Human frailty.
There is not a Steeler within 5 yards of Gonzalez.
There's no reason for Gonzalez to keep moving like that. He should, once he gets there, just stop.
Be a stationary target?
Be a stationary target. Just stop right there. Do not move anymore. And that's a young player that has to get used to feeling his way around in the back of the end zone.
Third down and goal. And this is a flat caught for the touchdown by Andre Rison.
That's who they should have thrown it to anyway.
He got inside Dwayne Washington.
Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, does a nice job of putting 3 receivers to one side and leaving Andre Rison all by himself, backside one-on-one.
Stoyanovich out of Aguirre's hole. And it's a brand new game.
Well, he also got creative and said, I'm not going to attack Joel Steed, Levon Kirkland, and the strength of this Steeler defense, which is up the middle against the run. Go to the passing game. He had 2 wide open receivers, found one of them for a touchdown.
13 all as the kick is taken a yard into the end zone by Will Blackwell.
Look out.
And Blackwell runs into his own man and then gets tackled up at the 40-yard line. Good run back by Eric Warfield. And so for the moment, the crowd is stilled by that run back. And we can remind you that tomorrow, another episode of Sports Night right here on ABC. A lot of folks calling it the most exciting new show of the fall. More than a comedy. Tomorrow night right here.
Well, this is where it gets nasty, and this is where your quarterback has got to step up, and we'll see how much maturity Cordell Stewart shows right now.
But neither one of these guys, even at 50%.
They've each had a bunch of drop balls, too.
That's caught by Hawkins, and Courtney takes 3 Chiefs to stop him up at the 49-yard line, a yard shy of the first down, led by Mark McMillan, 2nd down and 1. Cordell Stewart now making his 23rd consecutive start. Earlier, showing what he can do with his legs. We know that. Then that pass there toward the end of the first half. And then catching the pass from Hines Ward. Running, throwing, and receiving. 2nd down and 1, and they give it to the bus who picks up the first down and takes it to the Kansas City 41-yard line where he's tackled by Reggie Tung.
No, Dan, this is the part of an NFL game when you're on the road and you're in a noisy, nasty stadium that young quarterbacks really have to grow up, and they have to grow up fast. They have to make proper decisions. They have to throw the ball effectively. They got to know when to throw it away, and don't try to do too much.
And thy running game is thy best friend.
Absolutely. No question.
Bettis, 19 carries for 89 yards, and here's his 20th. and he picks up 2. Boomer, you mentioned in the pregame show, I believe, that Stewart had played much better in the last 3 games than in the first 3 games. He's also the kind of guy who, at halftime, must take advice very well because he plays much better in the second half of games than he does in the first.
Yeah, he does. And I think what happens, too, is that you can see right here his second half numbers compared to his first half numbers. He's an 85 rating guy. And I think what happens, he settles down, he gets into the flow of the game.
2nd and 8 from the 40-yard line. The game is tied in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. And that is incomplete, intended for Courtney Hawkins. Coverage on the play by Mark McMillan.
Good timing by Mark McMillan that time. You know, Mark McMillan's not a very big guy.
Oh. Well, it depends.
Well, if he's standing next to Jerome Bettis, but you can see right here, he is an aggressive DB. He'll go after the football.
When you're 5'7", you better rely on timing. You better have a lot going for you, including toughness.
And 154 pounds.
It's stunning to think a guy that small can play in this league.
And he plays well.
3rd and 8. Here come the Chiefs. And it is somehow caught by David Dunn. What a catch. Inbounds and a first down.
All right, that was a good catch, but what a throw. Cordell Stewart stood right in the pocket in the face of a blitz. He knew that he was going to get hit, and he delivered the ball. He threw a strike, very accurate, and you could see McMillan going after the ball right there. But this is the type of things that you want to see your young quarterback do on the road.
And he's working on a mismatch. He's got a 6'3", 220-pound guy going against the 5'7", 155-pound guy.
And that is the end of the quarter. End of 3. It's Pittsburgh 13, Kansas City 13. Monday Night Football resumes after this from our ABC stations. Here we go, the 4th quarter in Kansas City. Al Michaels, Dan Deerdorf, Boomer Esiason, and Leslie Visser. 1st and 10. Pittsburgh at the KC 30 with the game tied at 13. Stewart swings one to the near side, caught by Tim Lester, and he's out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Well, the game is tied. The score is 13 each, and as we take a look at the numbers for the first 3 quarters of play, it will be reflected in the team stats. In fact, the score is 13 all, and in first downs, each team has 13.
You see the rushing advantage clearly on the side of Pittsburgh, but look at the time of possession. 2 seconds separating these 2 clubs through 45 minutes of football.
2nd and short, and they give it to Bettis, and Bettis rams his way to the 20-yard line right through Reggie Tongue.
When you are effective running the football as the Steelers are tonight, you can run a lot of different play actions. You can give your quarterback a lot of different options off of those play actions. And really, that's what we're seeing from the Steelers tonight. But it all goes back to how well Jerome Bettis runs. And you can see when he runs how low he gets. He covers the football up, and it's like an auto accident.
From the 20-yard line, here he goes again. And Reggie Tongue is there on just about every play, some more effectively than others.
Well, that's the problem. When you're the team's strong safety, your primary job is to come up and support the run, get as close to that line of scrimmage as you can.
So you're 6 foot, 201 pounds.
You just look at Kansas City right now, the way they're trying to tackle Bettis. They're doing it with all shoulders. Nobody's really wrapping up. They're coming in and trying to bounce off of him. These guys need to try to maybe get down around his knees and try to undercut him a little bit.
On 2nd and 7, Cordell, he's going to take off.
And that was a run all the way. Absolutely. It was a fake pass. It was a little quarterback sprint out draw. Again, you know, using his abilities and tailoring your play calling to what he does best. And there's so many different things you can do with him that are unconventional. Throwing the ball back to him, letting him make a play like this. These are the type of things that you want to have happen if you're the offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You see that graphic. You heard Bill Cowher tell Leslie at the start of the show, we just want to try to be close in the 4th quarter and then find a way to win.
3rd down, short 1. Steelers 9 for 9 this year on 3rd and 1, but this time Bettis will make it very interesting.
I assume he's in there somewhere.
Sooner or later, you're the Kansas City defense. You got to say enough is enough already.
Well, there's going to be the nose of that football is awfully close to the 10-yard line. Yes, that's his vote. 4th down. It appears that they may be an inch or two short.
Yeah. And then if you're Cowher and you've got the bus and you're 1 link short and the game is tied, what do?
Go for it. You go for it.
Well, I don't know that you automatically go for it here, Boomer. Tie ball game, take a 3-point lead. It's a
this guy right here.
Questionable call.
This guy right here, he's going for it.
Oh,
you know why? That's the guy that I saw last night.
Well, you know,
ready to go at it.
You know he's going for it because the kicker's still over on the sideline. That's
no.
It's always a good indication. Yeah. 4th and inches from the 10-yard line.
Run a quarterback sneak.
A quarterback jump. A quarterback vault. And that's going to make it 1st and goal.
I mean, that's an easy thing. We go back to talking to Bill Cowher last night. We go back to our meeting and just how, I can't explain it to you, just how intense he was about the things that we were asking him.
He invigorated you, didn't he?
Like I said, he's the only guy that I've talked to in the last 7 weeks, and I've talked to a lot of coaches that made me miss the football game, that made me miss playing. And that's how he is.
Al didn't do it. I didn't do it. None of us.
Al hasn't done it.
Pardon.
What is that?
1st and goal from the 9. A little dump off. Oh, wow.
Hello.
And Greg Minuski creates his own bus stop.
Jerome Bettis, the ball carrier.
Really, the best way to hit the bus is hit him like he hits you if you get an opportunity. Minuski caught him after Jerome actually jumped over McMillan.
Pass play to Bettis, gain of a yard.
And when you see a 250-pound back with the ability like this, watch him jump over McMillan. I think he likes that.
Well, Jerome Woods maybe put the noisiest hit on Bettis.
2nd and goal now. Play clock is down to 2. The toss to Bettis. He takes it to the 5. 3rd and goal. Derek Thomas makes the tackle. Ken Lester threw the block that helped to spring him.
You know, one of the things we were talking about, and we have talked about all season, is how to deal with the noise on the road, especially in a stadium like this, which is one of the most difficult places to play. Young quarterbacks have no idea how nasty it can be.
Greg Minuski.
3 yards off of the play.
There is no way that contact of this nature doesn't start to take a toll on the combatants from both of these teams. You see Bettis is over on a knee on the sideline. Minuski is down. This has been big-time contact.
You see Minuski there a little bit off balance.
Ooh, Minuski
went to the side of the head.
Yep, he came in off balance, and he took a blow right on the side of the head.
Of course, every time you come into this stadium and you watch a guy rumble, you think back to Christian Okoye.
The last 1,000-yard rusher I think this ball club has had, right?
The Nigerian Nightmare.
Back in, what, 91 or 92?
That's correct.
Remember that hit with Steve Atwater?
Woo.
That was an all-timer.
You can still hear it. Injury timeout.
In a world where every second counts, a quick call can make a big difference.
Cordell, I think the safety will bite on the clear.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
That's why now all calls...
Greg Minuski out, at least for one play. He was taking the spot of Donnie Edwards to begin with. The Chiefs running out of linebackers. A 4-2-5 defensive alignment on 3rd down and goal now from the 5-yard line. Stewart throws wide open and juggling and making the catch is Charles Johnson for the touchdown.
What a catch by Johnson. Boomer, that ball was way behind him, wasn't it?
Well, it was way behind him because Cordell was running out of time. He got pressure from his backside. It's like Will Wolford got beat by Derek Thomas, and Derek Thomas hit Cordell as soon as he threw it. But this is the type of thing that you need from your big play type of people. Charles Johnson has to make those plays.
Well, Mark McMillan, or actually Dale Carter, take it back. I think Dale Carter goes for the hold. He gets beaten by Johnson. He tries to drag him down and can't even do that.
Norm Johnson for the point after. Charles Johnson, a college teammate of Cordell Stewart of Colorado, makes his first catch of the night. 10:05 left in regulation. Pittsburgh back up by a touchdown.
This is to allow him to get off the line of scrimmage and make it difficult for cornerbacks like Dale Carter to get their hands on him. Nice play by Charles Johnson all the way around.
That's dropped by Vanover. Up to the 28-yard line. The Steelers drive was a 14-play drive. That's their longest touchdown drive of the season in terms of plays. Most plays on a TD effort.
I go back to their 2-minute drill at the end of the first half. I mean, that's where Cordell Stewart kind of got into a rhythm, got into a flow. He doesn't have big numbers tonight, but he's making quality throws, and he's making plays, and he's using his head, as he's telling you right there. I'm using my head, everybody. I'm all right.
I think he was sending a signal to Romanowski.
I wouldn't be sending anything to Romanowski.
First and 10 from the 28-yard line. Elvis throws, and it is one hop that is incomplete.
Nice job by Elvis of saving about 15 yards.
Nice job by Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not laying back. He's bringing the blitz, and that's exactly what Levon Kirkland was doing back there. And again, managing your position if you're a quarterback. Get rid of the football. You do not want to take a sack this deep in your own end.
Well, Donnell Bennett just didn't have a chance to get in on Levon Kirkland. And once Elvis gave up that much ground, he almost had to get rid of it somehow.
On 2nd and 10. Nice catch made by Kevin Lockett. First down up at the 41-yard line. Got position on Darren Perry and hauls it in the air. Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator. Remember, the longtime offensive coordinator Paul Hackett left here to become the head coach at USC. And, of course, Pittsburgh's offensive coordinator, Chan Gailey, now the head coach at Dallas.
A nice throw by Elvis. Again, accurate and in rhythm. He has a nice poise about him in the pocket.
Deep drop and a lot of protection. And then there's all kinds of action in the secondary. 3 flags come in. Alexander was pulverized by Carnell Lake.
I guess every official on the field saw that.
Pass interference, 37 defense, first down.
All right, Jimmy Ray is going after him. Again, you know, it's a battle of what you think the opposing teams are going to do, and that's what these coordinators, they fight. You can see Carnell pushing down that time. But coordinators on each team are trying to figure out what each other is doing. And one time it's a blitz, and the next time it's a play action. Good play calling tonight.
That penalty worth 16 yards, first down. From the 43-yard line. Going deep for Andre Rison. And he had it and couldn't hold on to it.
Oh, that ball hit Andre. It looked like it hit him right in the head. It went right through the hands of the Steelers secondary. Perry and Washington both back there. Andre, I think it might have surprised him.
If Elvis could have put a little bit more air on the ball.
That's a doink.
Yeah, I don't think he even saw it.
Well, he sure acted like he didn't see it. He was probably screened by Dwayne Washington. Andre Rison, normally a better receiver than that.
2nd and 10, and that's dropped by the rookie. That's Rashawn Sheehy, the third down back. Rookie out of Washington, 3rd down and 10. Go back to the Rison play again.
So he makes a nice move. He gets Dwayne Washington to turn around. The ball needs to be thrown a little bit deeper and a little bit higher to give Andre a chance to make a play on it.
Geez, it almost stuck in his face mask. You know, if he would have had just a little bit bigger opening there, that ball might have impaled itself right in there.
Kansas City watched the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cincinnati Bengals a couple weeks ago.
3rd down and 10, and that's almost picked off. That's Deshae Townsend wearing Rod Woodson's old number on a pass intended for Tony Gonzalez.
I was going to say, if they would have watched the Bengals game a couple weeks ago, the Bengals kept throwing deep on Dwayne Washington. And I'm sure we'll see that again down the left-hand sideline, but this is a close possible interception return for a touchdown. Whoa.
Now Louis Aguilar will try to pin the Steelers deep. High floating kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 10-yard line by Courtney Hawkins. And the Steelers will have it. Probably a heavy dose of Bettis upcoming. From the Kingdome, the Oakland Raiders against the Seattle Seahawks. And then next Monday night, Troy Aikman is back. Troy injured early in the season. Jason Garrett's done a nice job, but Aikman will lead the Cowboys into Philadelphia to take on the Eagles next Monday night. First down, Pittsburgh here from the 10-yard line. 8:51 left in the fourth period as Jerome Bettis gets taken down in the backfield by Pelham McDaniel. That's one way to stop him.
Well, it's time for Kansas City now with 8.5 minutes left in this ballgame. They need some emotion, and they need their defense to come up big. Everybody pitching up front, and that is the way you take on the bus. Right in the midsection.
Greg Minuski, who went out with that shoulder burner before, is back in. Number 51, second down 14 from the 6. The bus again. And they gang tackle him up at the 7-yard line. And the flag goes down.
A face mask here.
Bettis on the carry. There's a penalty flag down. Tom Hart made the tackle.
Bernie Kukar's crew has done good work tonight.
And Marty's about to see some good work by his defensive squad negated.
Personal foul, 15 yards.
There it is, Greg Minuski. Actually,
ball, grabbing and pulling on the face mask. 51 defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That was borderline as to whether or not that was the personal foul 15-yard variety or whether it would have been the 5-yard garden variety.
Well, he said he pulled on it, so if it's in the estimation of the official that he was actually pulling on his face mask, then that is the correct call.
Yes, I'm aware of that. It's
okay,
a question of,
sure.
Thanks for explaining that.
All right.
First down is the 22. In any event, it's a big, otherwise it was third down and 11. Now it's a first down, and it's Jerome Bettis picking up 2. 7:45 and the clock ticking down. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the NFL and the Super Bowl. The irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? Cigna, a business of caring. And AT&T, it's all within your reach. Boomer, there is your Country Club Plaza.
There it is.
Spoke of before.
Boy, what a great place that is.
Yep.
And we saw this situation last week where the road team, the Jets, were out playing the New England Patriots, and they didn't play it conservative. They went right after the Patriots and ended up making some big plays towards the end of that fourth quarter.
2nd and 8 from the 23. The screen is set up. Bettis rolled down at the 27-yard line. Tackle made by McLaughlin.
At this stage of the game, you still have to continue to play to win. You don't want to play not to lose. Playing smart and playing somewhat conservative is okay, but you still have to be able to drop back and throw the football and do it confidently.
But it's hard to be something you're not.
No, you're right. But if you want to be a playoff team that has Super Bowl aspirations, these are the plays and these are the times of the season where you have to make those plays happen.
3rd and 5. Bettis out. Spread formation here. Cordell lost one. It's a little underthrown, and McMillan is able to break it up, intended for David Dunn.
Boy, he underthrew that one. If he would have let it go, David would have had a chance to go up and make a play for him.
Which is all you're looking for. You know you got your single coverage over there, McMillan on Dunn.
I don't know what McMillan was really doing right here. I mean, David had McMillan beat, and Cordell just underthrew the football.
The exasperation In evidence on Power's face is Josh Miller. Lofts one to the 26-yard line. Tamarek Vanover gets around the corner, but then runs out of room, and he's out of bounds up at the 31. And the Chiefs will take over there. 6:06 left in regulation as this one winds down in KC. Pittsburgh by 7. Owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, each team 4-2. The winner is going to be in a lot better shape than the loser at the end of this one as Gerbach throws a screen to Bennett. And Bennett takes it out to the 46-yard line. And again, I reiterate that the winner will begin to think about the second half of the season with a head of steam, and the loser will have a lot of questions to begin with, the way these teams have both played through the first 6 weeks and are 4-3.
Well, it's really vital for the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game at home. I mean, they're already behind the Denver Broncos. They're also in a division where you have, you know, the Seattle Seahawks with a winning record. I mean, this is a...
And keep in mind their last outing.
Right, exactly.
Against New England, where they got beat by 30 points.
Gerbach throws, and that's broken up by Lake. And in a division where you've got probably the best team in the league in Denver, and the Raiders are 5-2
right, and the Raiders
well.
now are 5-2. That was my next point. So Kansas City cannot afford to get any further down. And
in the AFC, meanwhile, you know, eventually the pendulum was going to swing. 10 teams above 500 right now. 6 in the NFC. AFC,
2 of which are Atlanta and New Orleans.
Right.
If you can imagine that.
Right.
The 2 of the winning teams in the NFC. The pendulum has really swung.
And timeout is called by Kansas City, to the chagrin of Marty and to the chagrin and displeasure of the fans. Tomorrow night, Jimmy Smith's appearing on only 4 more episodes, so you won't want to miss the all-new Blue, NYPD Blue. That's tomorrow night, coming your way right here on ABC at 10 Eastern and Pacific, 9 Central. Next Monday night, we go to Philadelphia. The Eagles having all sorts of problems against the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cowboys, as we've mentioned tonight, will get the services of Troy Aikman back next Monday night at the Vet.
It was interesting. We saw Jerry Jones talking to Wayne Weaver, and you have to wonder what is going on in Jacksonville right now. That's 2 losses in a row for them. I mean, they're coming back into the pack. And really, if the Steelers can win this one, you know, how that shakes up the AFC Central a little bit. 2 weeks ago, it looked like Jacksonville was going to run away with it.
Flat-footed tie if Pittsburgh wins this game tonight. 2nd and 10. Caught by Ted Thompson. Jason Gilden wrestles him down to the 49-yard line.
I'm sure Wayne Weaver was like, hey, come on, Jerry, I just want to watch this game right now. I got a little bit more riding on this game than you do.
He does have a little more of a vested interest in this contest.
Well, Pittsburgh and Jacksonville have yet to face each other. There's Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator, ready to send in the play, and Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator. And our season ends. The last game of the regular season is a Monday night game after Christmas. Pittsburgh at Jacksonville.
You take a look at the next 3 games for the Chiefs. You had the Jets here, at Seattle, and then the Broncos here. So it doesn't get any easier for the Kansas City Chiefs after tonight.
3rd down and 7. Big conversion coming up here. And it's intercepted by Carnell Lake.
Where's he going?
Out of bounds he's going at the 38-yard line. Just happy to have possession. And so KC takes a timeout and come back and throw an interception. And Cowher all the way out on the field.
Penetration in the face of Elvis Gerbach on the last play, and he tried to get a slant pattern to a moving receiver to run back underneath Carnell Lake. You know, Carnell Lake is a strong safety, if you will, now playing cornerback, and a wonderful athletic move by Carnell to come back underneath Lockett and make the play. A poorly thrown ball by Elvis Gerbach.
Now the Chiefs in a position where they're going to have to start taking timeouts defensively. Bettis up to the 44. So the double whammy was applied. Not only did they have a pass picked off, but they had a wasted timeout prior to that. Bettis, meanwhile, has gone over 100 yards again. Nothing new for Jerome against Kansas City.
That's like his sixth Monday night game where he's gone over.
You've got it.
Over 100 yards, his sixth consecutive.
All right, so now you're the Kansas City Chief defense. You have Curtis Martin coming to town. You have Ricky Waters you got to see, and then you're going to see the ultimate in Terrell Davis. You better figure out a way to stop Jerome Bettis here in the next 4 minutes.
Second down and 4 from the 44. The bus has the first down. He's into Kansas City territory. He takes it to the 44-yard line.
You wonder why?
There is some
players love this guy. I mean, he is on the field. He's intense.
He lost his glasses. He did. He lost. In his excitement, I think his spectacles left the head.
You know, he told us last night not very many people are giving us an opportunity to win this football game, but I certainly feel like we can win it.
Keep in mind, this is an offensive line that lost Justin Strelzik, their right tackle, to a knee injury.
First down from the 44. The bus again into the pile. Second and 10. And now Kansas City is going to take a timeout. They have 1 remaining, and they'll also get to stop the clock at the 2-minute warning, and that's it.
You look at the interceptions that we've seen in this game, but really this game is hinged on 2 special teams plays. One, the blocked punt that Pittsburgh blocked of Kansas City's that resulted in a touchdown. And Marty Schottenheimer is immediately going to think of the return by Joe Horn that went for a touchdown and was called back because of a holding penalty.
95 yards.
14 points right there.
The penalties
that went against Kansas City.
You know, the penalties have really hurt Kansas City tonight. And the penalty that you don't see, the offsides in a 2-minute drill at the end of the first half, 2 of them.
Chiefs tonight have had any number of opportunities. This a sure touchdown when Tony Richardson fell down, and then Gonzalez kept moving through the back of the end zone, and then Rison has that pass hit off his face mask. Well, so 3 prospective touchdowns plus the Horn run back.
Well, they got the touchdown the next play after the Gonzalez miss, but it's the first one and certainly the last one.
Second down and 8. Cordell on a roll. Flag is thrown in the secondary. The pass is incomplete. Hawkins out of bounds. Defensive holding, automatic first down.
34 defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
A killer. Dale Carter.
He is having some kind of trouble holding up the receivers at the line of scrimmage. We saw before Charles Johnson got off of him down in the red zone where he made a spectacular catch for a touchdown. But Charles Johnson has really given Dale all he can handle tonight.
8 penalties against the Chiefs for 61 yards tonight.
Going to run the ball here and force the Chiefs to use another timeout.
At the 39-yard line, first and 10. Bettis starts to fall down. Down he goes. Anthony Davis. And they take the timeout. Their last one, and the next time the clock stops, it'll be at the 2-minute warning. After the game, stay tuned to ABC for your late local news or other local programming, or go over to ESPN for a post-game show. It's a funny thing that those extra couple of seconds just now that Kansas City, I don't want to say wasted defensively, because they were trying to call a timeout, but Pittsburgh runs this play.
They would have had to run another play before the 2-minute warning.
That's right. Yeah, because remember the 40-second clock is going to start when the play ends, which means it's going to be with like 2:37 to play, assuming it's a 3-yard
run down. Yeah,
exactly. But if Kansas City could have taken that timeout 4 or 5 seconds earlier,
they might have forced them into running another play.
Absolutely. Second down and 11 at the 39.
Well, they were offsides. Well, Kansas City was all the way across the line of scrimmage. Did somebody make them go?
No, I think this time it was Chester McLaughlin now doing it.
Well, this is, if that's the case, Boomer, they're playing like they're the team on the road. As many defensive line penalties as they've had.
Offside, 75 defense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
It's one thing to play aggressive, but it's another thing that, you know, you have to play smart. And you can't give the other team opportunity after opportunity to take plays over. Oh.
So it's second down and 5 from the 34-yard line. Bettis. Going to be 3rd and 2. Ball comes loose, but after it had been whistled dead. No fumble. And now the clock will go down to the 2-minute warning. With 2 minutes to go, it's going to be 3rd down and a long 2, short 3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This would be a good opportunity for the Steelers to run a play-action pass, get Cordell out on the flank. Tell him, look, if the guy isn't open, run with it if you can make it, but don't run out of bounds. Keep the clock running. One of the real luxuries that the Steelers have with having an athletic quarterback.
2-minute warning. Pittsburgh up by 7. And a long 3 with 2 minutes to go. Pittsburgh will cement it if they convert, and they give it to Bettis, and he cannot get it. So it's 4th down. Compelling Cower now to either pooch punt it or send in Johnson for about a 49-yard field goal attempt.
This is an interesting situation. He's going to let the clock run all the way down. They'll call timeout, and then they'll discuss it.
The problem with the field goal, a long attempt, well, not just the miss, the block.
The block, and
the block is the bigger concern, I think, because that's something that can end up being 7 points going against you.
And you're right, and if you miss, though, you give your team, you give the Chiefs decent field position.
So they'll run it all the way down. If they're going to take the delay.
Delay a game offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th out.
That clearly means they're not thinking field goal if they can punt.
I think the field goal's too risky. Go ahead, force Kansas City. See if you can just knock this thing down there inside the 10-yard line and see if Kansas City can go the length of the field with no timeouts left and basically a minute left to work with.
Well, certainly you want to kick it high, and you don't want to give Hanover a chance. Any chance, even remotely. No. Even if you kick it in the end zone and give it to him on the 20, just don't give this kid a chance to get his hands on the football.
This will not be a mammoth boot by old Josh here.
Little pooch kick. And it rolls into the end zone. So out it comes to the 20, and the Chiefs will have to go 80 yards in 64 seconds with no timeouts.
And I don't think Bill Cowher saw Kansas City getting the ball back with this much time left.
Really, right now, if you're Elvis Gerback, you got to hit the sidelines if you can. You have enough time to hit a couple passes in the middle if you're going to get up there and down the ball if it's a deep pass.
Well, obviously, Andre Rison is the playmaker in that offensive huddle right now.
Now, this is the plays or the area where the Cincinnati Bengals came back and they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in a situation like this.
A flag just went flying in Kansas City. I think had 12 guys in the huddle. I think Kansas City had 12 guys in the offensive huddle.
Illegal substitution. Offense has 12 men in the huddle. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You can't wait until the last minute to declare who your 11 guys are. Derek Alexander came sprinting to the sideline way too late.
The 10th penalty against the Chiefs, who send the 3 wideouts to the right. And then
that's a fumble.
It's a live ball, and it's pitched Pittsburgh's ball at the 14-yard line. Extracted by Jason Gilden, covered by Lee Flowers.
Bill Cowher gets farther out onto the field than any coach in the NFL. You gotta love everything about Bill Cowher and the enthusiasm and the passion that he brings to this game.
First and 10, Pittsburgh at Kansas City 14-yard line.
Pressure from Gilden. Pressure from Oliver Gibson. And no forward movement whatsoever. I think Jason Gilden was the player going through.
Take a look at Jason Gilden. You talk about adding injury to insult, or insult to injury. He's playing the drums.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh. And a couple of kneel downs will end this one.
When he starts playing the bongos on you, you're in trouble.
Yep. Well, he just played taps for the Chiefs for tonight because the Pittsburgh Steelers fly home with a mammoth win. They go to 5-2. They're tied with Jacksonville in the AFC West, and the Kansas City Chiefs find themselves tied for third with Seattle in the AFC West, behind 7-0 Denver and 5-2 Oakland.
Bill Cowher has the ability to make his players believe that they can win on the road, and they don't do it in spectacular fashion. They just give the ball to the big guy, let him run.
Yeah. And third year in a row, they've been here in Kansas City to play on a Monday night, and they've won 2 out of the 3.
Jerome Bettis, 33 carries for 119 yards tonight. Stewart threw for only 82 yards, but it was enough, along with 3 Kansas City turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble, and 10 penalties, several of which came late in the game. Dan Rooney, the owner of the Steelers, looking on. It'll be a happy ride home for the Pittsburghers as they come away with the win.